This is Scott Brady with Progressive Property Management. Today we're going to talk about tenant screening tips so you can avoid bad tenants in Orange County. Real estate market is doing pretty well right now, the rental market in particular, but you can still find a bad tenant quite easily. So before you let a tenant into your property and sign a contract, you want to have a system, have a way of looking at those tenants. So we use a better tenant system here at Progressive, and we're looking at some key areas. The first is, of course, credit. And we like to call it credible credit, meaning that the person who rents your property in likelihood is not going to have perfect credit. And they're not going to make a ton of money and have a ton of money in the bank. Otherwise, you know what? They'd be buying your property. So instead, you look for a tenant that has good credit. They may have some dings on the credit from the past. There was a recession. A lot of people did have some issues. They may have some health judgments, meaning they had a medical condition, went to a hospital, and couldn't pay. They may even have a bankruptcy. Bankruptcy aren't necessarily terrible because first, it gets rid of all their debt, and second, you can't file bankruptcy again for a number of years, specifically 5. So you need to look at their entire credit. There are some negatives you're looking out for if there's too much credit, if there are recent lates, recent collections, and of course, if there's an unlawful detainer. So we look at the credit. 2 is we're going to look at the income. We want to make sure their income is verified and equals about 3 times the gross rent, meaning that if the rental you're asking for is $2,000, we want to see about $6,000 in verified gross income, because then we know they have the capacity to pay that rent. We also want to do a criminal background check. Pretty important that you don't put a criminal in your property. I don't think your neighbors would be fond of that. And if you're in a multi-unit, I guarantee you the other tenants won't be fond of that. So you want to look at the criminal background. And the other thing we look at is their story. Nobody wants to rent property for the most part. Some more and more, some do, but most people don't. So why is it they want to rent your property? What is the story? Where are they coming from? Where are they going to? Are they getting married? Are they getting divorced? They find a new job, moving out of their mom's house, whatever it might be. You're allowed to ask for the story. So we have a better tenant system. Currently, our eviction rate is less than 1%. And so we think having a system is better than having no system at all. Otherwise, you may put a bad tenant in your property. Thanks.